Hello, Steve White, Steve White 39. Looks like we have some bad news. Basically, He-Man and the Masters Universe Revelations. There were rumors about it, and we have seen like a first look selection of pictures, and it looks like it's true. And we have an interview with somebody at Entertainment Weekly, and it does appear as though what we had heard was true. God, it seems like so long ago. A year or so ago, there was some sort of animation con, and someone was talking about the new He-Man show Revelation, and they put up a description of the series, I think, and basically it said that He-Man was gone and Teela was basically the hero of the story, and she was basically traveling around Eternia trying to find the secrets to Castle Grayskull or something with her girlfriend. So they had sidelined He-Man and basically made the show into some kind of, I don't know what to call it, feminist piece where it was girl power and there was no He-Man. It was Teela. It was basically the Teela show. So Teela and the Masters of the Universe is basically what it was, which we've already got She-Ra. We don't need that sort of female show in that Master universe. We want Master of the Universe. So instead they do that, and that's what we heard, and of course they came out and said, no, that's just rumours, that's gossip, blah, 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 and I'm like, there was a screen capture of something that was put up in an official, like, con. How are they saying this isn't true? But they kept saying it wasn't true, and Kevin Smith, because Clownfish TV came out and said apparently they had seen someone they had talked to had seen a script, and they had told them some things, and they were sort of talking about it, and Kevin Smith actually came on and commented on their posts and said, it's not true, blah, 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 and was pretty adamant that this was not the case, which I sort of thought, well, this is good because they can't deny it and then do what they're saying they're not going to do. So maybe it was just a rumour or suggestion, or maybe that was an early sort of draft or version and people looked at it and had the same thought that we did, that this is not He-Man, this is not Masters of the Universe, this is a Teela show. We've already got a Princess of Power. We don't need two Princess of Power shows. We want a He-Man show and a She-Ra show, not, just a Teela show. So it kind of sat there and people were still talking about it like they weren't sure, and I wasn't sure either. And then we got a first look at the comics and they looked kind of like the originals. It's kind of difficult to tell because the art style of the two covers, we only saw the covers, kind of looked a little bit looked like He-Man, but it looked a little bit different, so it was hard to tell what the actual look of the show was going to be. And then we had some of the toys, were images of the toys were released, and they look very much like updated modern versions of the original toys of the original characters, very similar to the original. And I didn't even do a video about that, which I was thinking of doing, but I wasn't 100% sure they were exactly what was in the show. I wasn't sure if they were doing like variations and different universes or whatever. So, but now we have this article of Entertainment Weekly, and it's pretty bad. They say right up front that the show starts off as He-Man, just as Master Universe. It starts up where the old series left off, exactly the same, but halfway through the episode, so we don't even get half an episode of the show before they totally change it. There's a catastrophe and everything changes. So basically they destroy the show. They destroy He-Man. They destroy, I don't know, do they destroy the castle? Do they destroy Eternia? Do they kill Prince Adam? Do they destroy He-Man? Do they destroy the Power Sword? Like, what do they do to destroy Star Trek? I was going to say, it's just like with Star Trek Discovery. They basically destroyed everything in that show. And you can't enjoy it because they killed everything that was Star Trek in the show. And same thing with Picard. And it's the same mentality, and they're doing the same thing where it's like, you can't have this thing. We know you love He-Man, but you can't have it. We'll give it to you for like half an episode just to get you in, and then we're going to give you what we want to give you, which is a different show about something else that wouldn't succeed on its own without the licensing and the titling and the brand familiarity. So we're going to use that to create something else and then put a brand on it. And some people, like sheep, will say, oh, this is the new He-Man show, and watch it and follow it and say it's great. And if you don't like it, you're a sexist, racist, troll, or whatever the particular allegation they can, fling at you that's appropriate, whether it's a race issue. Because there is another character, Teela's girlfriend, we're guessing girlfriend, because in the images they've changed Teela to look like a stereotypical lesbian. I mean, this is no other way to put it. She's got her head half shaved, and she's got no breasts, and she's got big man arms, and she's just looking like a butch dyke. And I know I shouldn't say that, but that's what she looks like. That's what they've done. And it's like, well, if you're going to make someone look like a stereotype, people should be able to say they look like that, because that's what they look like. And she's got a girlfriend, and she's black. And originally, apparently, the character was in the show. I've forgotten her name. Damn it, I should have written it down. But apparently she was a white character. Now, I don't remember this character. She might have been in the comics. I bought a bunch of the comics, but I haven't read them, honestly. I don't remember Teela having a female friend or companion in the original series, so I think it was a comic thing. But basically they turned her black, so I thought we were continuing on from the original series and the characters were going to be the same. The story apparently is going to change, so then how can the race of one of the characters change? Did Skeletor cast a spell on her and turn her into a black person? I don't understand. So that's one thing I've heard. Now I have to confirm that because I don't know who the original character was, and I don't know if she was black or white, but I've heard she was white. So I can't quite work out that one. That has to be a mistake. There must be some other character that just sort of created similar to another character instead of using another character, and people are confusing it for that character or something. I don't know. I've got to look into the comics. But yeah, they make it very clear that halfway through the first episode they change everything, and then the rest of the series is all about everything's dark and grim and people can die and there's real world consequences and real world grit. It's basically like what they did with Star Trek Discovery and Picard. It's like, let's just take something that people loved, that had its own format and tone and style and everything, totally change it into something contemporary and gritty and dark and nihilistic and what we think it should be, because that's how we see ourselves in the world and how we see today and what we think TV should be today, not what other people think or want to see or what the fans want to see. They say it's a love letter to the fans. Well, how is it a love letter to the fans to start writing a love letter and then start writing a hate letter after about halfway through? And telling, basically, I can't. It's just a bit too much to have all the franchises that you love slowly destroyed by people deliberately. And for what? To gain an audience that was never there for that show and isn't going to be loyal to that show because they're not interested in that show. That's why you have to create a whole nother show for them, a whole nother franchise for them, and you cater to these people and they don't even stay around, and then the shows die. Look at the new rebooted She-Ra. That went nowhere and is nowhere and will remain nowhere because they had no there's nothing real about the show. It was just frivolous kid stuff, and that's fun. I guess that's fine. I guess that's fun. You like do a kids show for kids, fine. But once someone grows past that, they're not going to watch that again. They're not going to care about it. Like something like He-Man had staying power. It stayed with you. You wanted to stay in that universe, stay in that world, and revisit it. If they change it, it's not going to. One of the things they said at the end, because there's a little bit of talk, they don't say much once they sort of go through that part about the changing everything. They're mostly talking about just the look, and you can read the article. But at the scary part is the end, where they say basically it's all about empowerment, and basically we feel everyone has the power, and we want every character, every person, every viewer to feel like they have the power, and basically they are powerful and He-Man. So basically they're going to, and people say this all the time, they're going to make everyone's special, so no one's special. They're going to give everyone the power. They're going to like blow up the power sword and give everyone a piece of it or something. I mean, that's what people are thinking is going to happen, and I'm like, I can see this happening. I don't know how this is going to turn out okay. I mean, we've seen the images. You see the images at the start where it looks like kind of like He-Man, and then it changes, and it's all, yes, oh God. I don't know what else to say. It just looks like it's true. It looks like Kevin Smith's a liar, and I'm not shocked because there is this agenda in Hollywood. Everything has to be this particular way. And I mean, I'm a gay man. I'm not particularly bothered by lesbians and dykes and them having girlfriends and them being powerful and all that, and women being strong. I'm not threatened by strong women. It doesn't bother me. But make another show about that. Don't take the show that we had and kill, destroy, catastrophize that universe until it's shaped into something totally unrecognizable, so it is then what you want. It just makes no sense. Who are they making this audience for? It's like Red Sonja. I was just thinking about that because someone commented on one of my videos about that, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know who they're making this for. I mean, she was a white, red-headed woman who ran around in a chainmail bikini fighting monsters and demons and things, and barbarians. And people love it. They want to make a movie of that. So they decide to make a movie about that, and then they make it into a black woman who wears like regular clothes and probably doesn't do anything that she does because they can't give us what we want. They can't give. I'm not a fan of Red Sonja. I'm talking for other people, but they can't give people what they want because there's just something wrong here. Where there's just this denial of what fans want and what franchises, what is expected of them. It makes no sense because you may create a smaller new audience, but you're going to alienate and just. You're going to lose the original audience that's been there for 30 or 40 years. I mean, they'll still have the other show to watch, but they're not going to engage in the new show, and then it's not going to have the longevity of... I don't understand what these people think is going to happen. And it seems pathological, like they're actually trying to destroy these shows because they have some resentment of them. And then you come into all the political talk and the patriarchy and all this stuff and woke and not woke and... right wing and left wing and alt right and all these people and all the politics and religion going into the entertainment both ways, with both sides trying to corrupt the audience, and just everyone's trying to win this culture war, and it's just a mess. And most of the shows I love are all victims of this. I don't know what else to say. It just looks like it's true. I look at this, I'm like, yep, we're going in that direction. And they said, they pretty much admitted it right there in paper. Halfway through the episode, everything changes. So we get half an episode of He-Man, and then it turns into something else. I don't see how I can be wrong. I don't see how this can be wrong. I don't see why they'd set that up, like to trick us or something, and then they're going to give us something different. Like, oh, we fooled you. No, it really is He-Man. I don't know why they do something like that. I just hate Kevin Smith. If I ever meet him, oh my God, I will give him a talking to, because I'm not a violent person, unfortunately. God, yeah. I don't have anything else to say. I just needed to vent about this. I needed to talk about this. I needed a YouTube therapy session here. So thank you for participating in my YouTube therapy and helping me work through this. But I mean, you can't see my Castle Grayskull sitting right there. Well, maybe you can. I don't know from this angle. I mean, I love He-Man. I love Masters of the Universe. I was excited about the idea of a Netflix He-Man series with like modern level, sophisticated art. And I thought, wow, we're actually going to get it. They've actually said we're going to follow the original series. We're going to continue straight on. It's a continuation, not a reboot. And yeah, they do that for half an episode and then they reboot it. Like, we trick people into the first episode and then we'll get them to watch this better show that's totally different and nothing like... these people. It's like the worst culture warrior salespeople just going door to door trying to give people something they don't want. I just can't. Yet I still keep going. I need to stop. I'm sorry. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe, commiserate, share your thoughts with me, what you think about this. If you're upset about this too, please feel free to vent in my comments. I just don't know. I'm glad I didn't get too excited when I first saw that description of the show. I thought, oh no, we're not getting it. Even though they're promising it, I thought, we're not getting it. So I never truly engaged in it. I got a little excited for a few minutes here and there, but I said, nah, let's just do not. Because this would be so much worse now if I'd actually let myself really buy into it and really get excited about it. Like Twin Peaks. And I'm going to do a video about Twin Peaks. I think it's 5 years since the 3rd season. That broke my heart and just about killed me, what David Lynch did there. And then I didn't let myself get on board Discovery or anything like I did with The Return. And I didn't with He-Man either. And that's the sad thing, when you have to protect yourself from your franchises and the things you love. I gotta go. Thanks.